All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I saw an article on the Blaze that kind of upset me. I generally, in most things, agree with what would be considered the right or conservative movement in America. However, every now and then, something comes up that I might disagree with, and I think for me, a red flag is when people are very afraid of the specter of shariah law in America. And particularly when we're talking about people who made decisions on their own within their own religious communities to make certain religious commitments. And that's the case that's being presented here in the Blaze. So that in Texas there was a judge who was presented with a divorce case. And prior to their marriage, the bride and groom signed a prenuptial agreement that all arbitration as far as the divorce would be taken care of through the religious courts, Islamic religious courts, which is similar to what we do in Judaism. Certainly, and in fact, it's considered to be more of a progressive thing within the Orthodox Jewish world to have a prenuptial agreement to ensure that someone is not being chained to a marriage in a religious sense, because from the religious point of view, if someone has a religious wedding, which is also recognized civilly, meaning the rabbi can sign a marriage license that makes it a recognized wedding according to the state, and and then they want to absolve the marriage, and they only obtain a civil divorce, but not a religious divorce, which are two totally separate things, as opposed to the religious and civil aspects of marriage are one and the same. The religious and civil aspects of divorce are two separate issues. If someone has a religious divorce and does not have, I'm sorry, someone has a civil divorce and does not have a religious divorce in Jewish law, and the woman goes and remarries, she's committing adultery according to Jewish law. Again, if someone doesn't believe in it, that's their business. Although I remember cases where you had a husband who was a believer and the wife ceased to be so, and she kind of compelled him to shell out a lot of money before she would accept the religious divorce, because she didn't really care about it, because she didn't believe in it anymore. And so the abuse happens on both sides. Sometimes men abuse their wives by withholding a religious divorce, and sometimes the wives abuse their husbands, sometimes by refusing to accept one, except under their terms. But in any event, the issue that we're talking about here is an Islamic marriage, and so in the Jewish and some of the more progressive Jewish communities, they religious Orthodox Jewish communities, they have, and conservative movement has something similar. They have a prenuptial agreement that they will, if there is a civil divorce, there's going to be a religious divorce, and so forth. And that religious divorce has to be done within a religious court, and sometimes the arbitration is done within the religious court as well, and that can be something that the couple can decide as well, whether or not they want to have a judge make the arbitration, or a or a rabbinical religious court. And it's almost identical in Islam, and certainly the same idea is that a woman, it's the husband who divorces the wife within Islam as in Judaism. The method of divorce, that's how it takes place. So this couple, they signed a prenuptial agreement, and now the wife is claiming that she was tricked into it. What do we say? Ksav Kamei Edom Dami, that you have his signature. That's if she signs something without reading it first, that's her fault. But nonetheless, she's aware that within her religious views, if she would go and remarry without a religious divorce, I would assume it'd be the same idea that she'd be committing adultery if she's not technically divorced, according to, even if they have a civil divorce without a religious divorce. So this whole specter and this fear of Sharia law creeping into the American justice system, there's nothing out of the ordinary here. This is exactly the same as has been for centuries in America with Jewish religious weddings and divorces, and I believe the same thing in the Catholic Church, where they have their tribunals that just decide canon law and so forth. So there's absolutely nothing here to be afraid of, and it's clearly a biased article, and the problematic one from the ideas of religious freedom, which are sacrosanct in America and part of the American conservative ideology. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment. We'll see you later.